I think really what I'm saying, my channel is called Liquidation Motivation, and everything that I own, do, have is all because of liquidation. Is all because of, because 20 years ago, when I opened my first liquidation store, I got my master's degree in business from college. I graduated, I opened my first liquidation store, and everything that came after that is all because of liquidation, all because of buying and selling used shit for a living, But you got to take that money. This has always been our message. You make that money, and then you take your profits and you put a portion of that into appreciating assets and the things that can help you down the road. And what I've learned is that your investment today, 10 years from now pays off, 15 years from now pays off, but they pay off in a big way, right? Like, let's say this is, let's say we buy this deal, when we're paying $330,000 for it. In 10 years from now maybe we build the sales up, we build the business up, somebody uses the same formula, and our business is worth $700,000, and I only owe, $100,000 on it. So boom, you sell the business and you make a $600,000 one-time profit. That's what's happening right now with me, is that investments I made in 2010 are paying off 12 years later. Real estate that I bought in 2011 is paying off 12 years later, 11 years later, but you need to keep making those purchases, making those buys, so that so that you put your time in, you wait for the market to circle around and double in value, and then you can cash out on those and make life-changing amount of money that you can now purchase more and more businesses with, I mean, I put most of my money, in crypto. I'm leaving a portion of it in cash so that I can do businesses like this. And I have a great business that's coming up. I'm not going to talk about it yet because I haven't sealed the deal, but I think that I have another franchise that I'm going to buy into that I have an inside connection on. So remember, inside connections are huge in anything you do. Relationships, build those relationships. When you know somebody on the inside, and then you can get a competitive advantage over everybody else, capitalize on that, okay? Find the guy that makes these fans, right? Find that maybe your neighbor works for a manufacturer that makes these fans. Now you can go in there and you can negotiate a deal with him to buy these fans the same price as Walmart. So now you're competitive in that market because you have that relationship. Always find that competitive advantage that you can get through all your friends. Where can you find a competitive advantage and capitalize on that in business? And we couldn't figure out the name of the restaurant, right? So my restaurant was on the Black River, right? Which the Black River is the #2 kayaking hole in the world. So people from all over the world will come there and kayak right in front of our restaurant. We have a deck overlooking the river. It's just a small river though, right? But during the winter runoff, like, the river is raging, right? Because we're in the North Country, Adirondack Mountains, all the snow melts, and that river goes up like 15, 20 feet higher than normal levels, right? And I'm telling you, people die all the time. And like, if you fall in it, you're dead. You're dead, right? So we're sitting on the back deck looking at this river, and this river is freaking raging. Across the river is a 40-foot wall. That's how high that river gets. They have to build a 40-foot wall because it gets so high. So this river is raging, and me and my partner are debating what to name the restaurant. And he's got his little dog, a little black lab with him, right? And he takes a stick and he throws it in that river, right? That freaking dog jumps off the deck, jumps in that river. People die. Listen, like 7 miles down the river, there's a dam. Somebody falls in, they go to the dam and look for them because they're dead. They're always dead. You can't survive the winter runoff there. This dog goes in, and I'm thinking, like, this dog's gonna die, but my partner didn't seem to care. That dog, sure enough, went in that river, got the stick, and I mean, he must have been a half mile away, ran all the way back down the side of the river, came back and looked at my partner with the stick in his mouth, and he wanted him to throw it again. And I thought it was like suicide for this dog. So the dog's name was Maggie. So my partner Reg looks at the dog and say, why don't we just call it Maggie's? And we're like, done. Let's not talk about it anymore. I mean, my point is, people beat the crap out of themselves figuring out a name for their business or people don't give a crap. I mean, my favorite restaurant is like the Fat Rabbit, right? I mean, what kind of name is that for a restaurant? Nobody cares. Just pick out a catchy name and just go with it. Don't think too much about it. People think way too much about name. So yeah, so we named Maggie's. So Maggie's is a business that I have up in New York. It was 2 restaurants. We just sold 1. We also own a brewery and a bunch of real estate up there. So that business is going real well. The sale of the restaurant is giving me some extra cash flow. So what I'm trying to do now, what am I trying to do? I am trying to open 10 businesses that make 100 grand each. 10 businesses that make 100 grand each per year so that I can make $1 million a year. That's the mission that I'm on right now. And, we're going to kind of document the journey to that. I mean, I'm already an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. We own the world's largest liquidation store. Just opened a bowling alley. If you haven't seen that video, you can see the video where we opened a bowling alley and an arcade and a 220-seat restaurant. So now I'm out there trying to find new businesses and other businesses. And in case you didn't know, the SBA is loaning money like crazy. So the SBA gave out money during PPP. They gave out money during the EIDL loans. Now they're giving out money through their small business loans. And I don't know if they're being looser on it, but they're certainly looking to loan money out. So you can get a 10% down loan on a business that's functioning, a business that's operating, a business that's cash flowing. And, so I have this extra money right now, and I'm looking to deploy it. I'm looking to find people that are good workers, that want to partner up, and and they can run these businesses, and then I can earn my money. I can earn my 100 grand a year off these companies. So what happened was, I went and talked to the guy that owns a Charlie's Cheesesteak in this mall. So Charlie's Cheesesteak, in case you don't know, it's a cheesesteak little sub shop. I think there's like 1,000 of them down here around Florida, and they're pretty popular. So in our mall, it's one of the more popular restaurants. They seem to do pretty good business. So I went on Biz Buy Sell Trade, and I saw that he had it listed for sale, and he's saying that he does $150,000 a year in profit. And he was asking like $380,000 for the business. So when I start thinking about what's a business worth, this is how you assess a business, what a business is worth. So a business is worth your profit times 2 to 5x times risk. So what does that mean? So restaurants, bars, anything that goes in and out of business a lot, you only want to pay about 2 times profit on it. Let me think about a 3 times profit. You might want to be like a landscaping company or a pool cleaning company. 4 and 5 times profit might be something that's super duper safe that never goes out of business, like a funeral home, right? You pay up on a funeral home because they'll never go out of business and they're highly profitable. But I like to be, my goal is to be at that 2 times profit. So if it's 2 times profit plus assets, they're saying that they're making $150,000 profit, right? And I'm guessing that the assets, now remember the value of the assets is this so it's a cheesesteak sub shop, all the equipment in the restaurant, and it's just a small place in the mall. And it's not the retail value, it's not what the guy paid for it, it's what the liquidation value is. So think about it, if he needed to close up tomorrow, needed one guy to buy everything in the restaurant, how much would he sell it for? And I'm guessing that number's around $30,000. So if I'm going to go 2 times profit, the profit's $150, plus assets, the assets are $30,000, I'm willing to pay $330,000 for that property. Now he was asking like $380, $375, $380, right around there. So if I was to get an SBA loan at 10% down, I would have to come out with $33,000 OOP. What's OOP? Out of pocket, right? Out of my pocket, I got to come up with $33,000. Now remember, he's saying he's making $150,000. Now I got to pay the loan on the rest of the money, right? So $297,000. That's approximately $2,000 a month, right? So that's $24,000 a year. So 150 minus the 24 equals $126,000 in profit a year. So my question to you, would you deploy $33,000 on a relatively safe location? It's a franchise. It's been in this mall for 15 years. They have a lease for 8 more years, at least in the same location. They just negotiated the price down in the lease. Would you pay $33,000 to make $126,000 a year? My answer is yes. They have a general manager in there. They have somebody who's already running it, and they get paid pretty well, so they're in low risk to leave the business. So I'm trying to find businesses like this that I can add to my portfolio. So right now I got Resale America, the world's largest liquidation store, the bin store. We still have 1 bin store. I got Lake Wales Bowl and Maggie's, which is the 220-seat restaurant, and the arcade at Lake Wales Bowl. I got Maggie's on the River, which is my 3 restaurant portfolio. We just sold 1, and the other one's a brewery, and then we own a whole bunch of real estate up there. I have these already, but I'm looking to grow this list to 10 different businesses that I can make $100,000 a year on so that I can make $1 million a year. And that's my goal, and I want to show you guys how to get there.